Goobers! Let me move to this scene, yeah. I have literally like 4 scenes and I cannot choose the correct one. Hello everyone, I hope you had a nice week, nice weekend. We're starting a brand new week, second week of July. Already week after so many anime came out and I still cannot catch up to the new season. But today it's not about the new season, it's about the season that has just recently ended, which is spring season 2025. Of course, season of anime. I'm not talking about like, I mean, technically I'm talking about seasons as winter, summer, spring, and fall. Damn tournament. Yeah, so I don't think previously when I first did that last season, I told you that I'm going to try out brand new ways of trying to make it more entertaining. Will it stay? I don't know, but the concept that I had this time is like, I want to talk about all the anime that I've watched at least one entire episode of. And like see which one I enjoyed the most, because the winner won't be like the best anime of the season. No. It will be the anime that I personally felt like watching it brought me the most enjoyment. It didn't have to be perfect, it didn't have to be like the best. It just had to have me engaged. How's the bracket was set? Okay, so as you can see, I missed a couple, so this one I guess they have it easier, but at the same time, like, I tried to even it out. It's not perfect. How I set them up is randomized. So at first I thought maybe I should make it more fair and, you know, do not put 3-minute long anime against something that had like 12 full episodes. But I thought, you know what? Fuck that. Let the randomizer choose, so you won't feel like I did something unfairly, because it's all up to those anime luck. In the end, I think no matter where the one that I enjoyed the most would end up, it's still gonna win, you know? And it doesn't matter, like, if someone doesn't, like, win in the first round, doesn't mean it's, like, ultimately bad. Because, as I said, I'm going to talk about every single anime step by step. Of course, I'll be talking less and less about them as we go further, because then it will be me deciding which anime I enjoyed more. So when I talk about, like, I will be only talking about, like, more or less what the anime was about in the first round. And in the second, third, and fourth, and fifth, we'll just, like, you know, wrap it up. So that's the concept of it. Yeah, we'll see, because honestly, I just put them up. I didn't really analyze who ended up with who, which anime ended up with which anime. So, I will have to think about it. I did not try. I mean, I do remember who is the first Due, because based on it, I tried to set it up visually to look as good as possible in the 15 minutes I've been doing it. So yeah. I definitely have a lot to talk about, definitely. But let me first get myself something that you could say is, in a way, yeah, a list of the titles, because I definitely do not remember full titles of all the anime. And I think we should start already, because, you know, I need to wrap it up to finish the stream earlier to keep on watching anime from this season that's just coming out, because I still have how many? I can tell you how many I have on my list to watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I have 10 anime on my list to watch, and I still have other things to do with which I cannot watch it in the background, so we need to wrap it up pretty quickly. Okay, let's get here. I'm ready. Okay, so to the first pair, it's kind of funny how these two somehow ended up together. Why is it funny? Well, you see, those are two anime that I actually was kind of like is it the most hyped up? Like, I thought they were going to be the most fun ones, okay? both of them. But starting with To Be Hero X. To Be Hero X is an anime. Yeah, To Be Hero X is an anime that is let me move the okay. To Be Hero X is an anime about hero society where each person has this kind of like a counter on their wrist that shows how much people trust you. The more they trust you, the more powerful you are. If they expect something from you, it can give you power, but it also can backfire on you, because when they, let's say, imagine that you cannot say word shit, you will not be able to say physically shit. For example, that's just a pure example. I don't think there is such a character that has this kind of disadvantage. But that's how this power system works. You may ask, like, okay, what is it about? Why would they want to be number one? Well, everyone wants to be a hero, apparently. Or at least it's a dream for many, just like in all the other shows about heroes, I guess. And so it all leads to this huge tournament in which you can kind of become number one hero. What is like the point of being number one hero? Honestly, and after watching 14 episodes, but we will be talking strictly about first course, so first 12 episodes, I have no clue why they are so focused on being number one hero. I have no clue. It's just like their own ambitions, I guess. But the first season, and the first core of the first season, is all about introducing us the characters, because the concept for this show is that first season will introduce us to all the characters that will be fighting against each other in second season, where we as viewers will vote for specific characters, which in my opinion it's a little bit a fake idea of you have the power to vote who is going to win, because I feel like the show will kind of like, it's kind of unfair towards certain characters, because the further we go within the story, the more we learn about the universe and the less we get the individual character stories. At least that's how I see it. I don't know, maybe you do not agree if you watch To Be Hero X, or at least like the 14 episodes or 12 episodes that are right now available. But that's not about it, because we're talking about the first 12 episodes, so I like it, okay? I think even though it has some issues, I can look past them because it's just so enjoying. Like, it's so enjoyable to watch this show. Like, no matter how ridiculous some aspects are out there, you still enjoy yourself just watching those characters do things. For some reason. I mean, first of all, is the animation, which is obviously the biggest selling point of this show, because we swap between 3D and 2D, although in further episodes we have more of 2D than 3D, which is explained. I mean, it's not explained in the anime, I think. If someone knows how one character works, they would understand why it's like swapping and why it's not swapping in the recent episodes. I think the biggest flaw that I actually have with this anime is how uneven the character stories are. Like, one is enjoyable, the other one is like fine, but it has like so many loopholes. And then you have the next one, which is an okay one. Like when it comes to like loopholes, there are almost none, but at the same time you're not really that attached to the characters. So it's like a mix of everything. You never know what you can expect from the next story, which in a way is good, but it's also bad because you wish you could feel like those characters are all equal within this story, and I don't feel like this is the case. And I think the writers knew what they were doing because they want specific character to win. Will they win? I have no clue, but we'll see, we'll see. And then against To Be Hero X, which I personally keep on enjoying every single episode. Like, there was not a moment where I felt like, you know what, I don't really feel like watching episode of this week. Like, I'm not that hyped. When I see To Be Hero X coming out, I'm immediately clicking, unless I'm not at home or something, but I'm immediately clicking and watching it. watched maybe 2 random episodes from To Be Hero, and I can definitely tell it's winning with ladies quite easily. Yeah, so we're moving to the full title of Rock Lady was Rock wa Lady no Tashinami deshite. A show that advertised itself pretty dang well. And it still has pretty nice rating, it's 792. It's a very high rating considering how shit this anime is. Okay, so the concept of it is we have a protagonist, Ririsa, whose mother remarried to a guy who is extremely rich. And apparently in this universe, rich ladies go to this one extremely posh and prim school when they all are ladies and they all want to become, I don't know, the ultimate lady that gets them a badge. And Ririsa, for some reason, I mean, I can assume that she wants to be this lady, so her mother won't doubt her being a lady, because literally the only character that truly cares about Ririsa acting like a true lady is her mother, who is kind of psychotic, but we know nothing else about her mother other than she's being psychotic. We have no clue why. And then she meets another girl who loves drumming, and her dad used to be a rock star, so obviously he just left the family or whatever. And she still loves the rock, and this is what breaks from her ladylike character. And of course they all form a band, and you can imagine how it goes. Hello! Sabachtani Rama! Hello. So, yes, about that. It's just... I wouldn't say like the story itself was something that I was intrigued about, because it feels like your most basic as we're forming a club that we shouldn't be forming and we're doing it in secret, but the secret slips out and more people know, so it's nothing original. But it showed in the trailer, it showed a lot of very dynamic faces, and you expected it to be something of the sorts of how Studio Trigger animates their anime. But it was a bullshit, because in the first episode we had like 5 minutes long scene where the girl is just standing 3D model and playing the guitar, and it's so awkward to watch, and it doesn't stop there. The other problem with this anime is just it's not funny. There was literally like one joke, and it was a boob joke to make it worse. That was actually funny. The rest was just shit. It's just boring. It doesn't bring out anything new. The animation sucks ass. I feel like in the end the 3D got a little bit better and they like readjusted it, which is funny because usually they care the most about the first 3 episodes and then they're like, oh, whatever, at the rest of the episodes. Yeah, so like next to To Be Hero X is like the most unfortunate setup for them, because maybe if they actually, I don't know if I guess if they were against an anime that I watched 1 episode of, they would stand a chance, but in this case it's just like, nah. It was supposed to be edgy, but they forgot that like cursing in like 2-3 episodes is not making it automatically edgy. That's the problem. So from this battle, just like without any issue, To Be Hero X wins. Like there was no competition to begin with, to be honest. There is no competition to begin with. So let's put it here and we're moving forward with Magic Girls! Okay, let me zoom in a little bit so we can see more of it. I guess. Yeah, okay. Like this. Should be good enough. So first one is called Arumajo. Where is the title? I need the title. I know, please, let me find the anime. Arumajo ga shinu made. And, okay. I know no one probably watched this show other than me. I thought I'm not going to watch this show. I mean, I knew that I'm going to give it a 1 episode, maybe 3. But when I saw the trailer and when I started watching it, I didn't think I'm going to watch it like the entire 12 episodes. I gotta say, I did not regret watching the entire show. And let me explain why. I mean, it will be hard, because I personally don't even know why I like this anime as much as I like it. I don't know. It's so hard for me to explain it, and I thought a lot, because when I finished watching it and I had to give it a final score, I was very torn, because I didn't know what to give it, because I liked it, but at the same time I feel like it's not as good as I think it is. But what is this Aromajo Gashinumare even about? It's the story about Meg Raspberry, the girl on the right, that's just kind of sitting on an knoll, who heard from her teacher, and also kind of like a parental figure, Faust, which is the old woman on the left, that she only has 1 year left to live due to some curse that was put on her, cast on her. And at first I was like very thrown off, because the girl is like taking it just like that, like she's not depressed or anything. But at the same time, like, the more you watch this character, the more you learn about her, and the more you understand why she wasn't that surprised about it, or rather, that she wasn't that shook about it. And you know, I watched the first episode, and you know, there's a way for her to keep on living. She needs to collect 100 tears of pure joy or something like that, which is basically like round kind of like crystals or something that she collects once someone sheds this tear of true joy. And you know, after the first episode was pretty like mid. You keep on watching it, but there was a plot twist that I didn't see coming. It wasn't like anything huge, but the fact that you know, because I even told it when I even said it when we were watching trailers for that season, that it's probably going to be this kind of case where every episode you have like different issue to solve with different people, and then she will gather the tear and she will be all happy, and that's how the anime will look like. But it didn't look like that, so it was the first plot twist. I mean, it started off like that, don't get me wrong, but like the first tears she gets aren't actually the tears of pure joy. So it was the first small plot twist that I was surprised about, and because of that, purely because of that, I decided to give it maybe that, and the fact that Meg is pretty fun character. I was like, okay, so let's give it a second episode, and I think second episode was the weakest of them all. But it still had this fun concept of fairies, or like kind of spirits living not only in like nature, but also in some objects like pocket watches or something like that. And I thought, you know what? This concept is really nice. I will give it third episode. And I think I cried in third episode. I don't know why. I guess like it was like one of those phases where in my month where I feel more emotional. Because like you knew what's going to happen. They did not try to like bait you into crying. No, it was like openly said, yes, this person, that will happen to this person, but yet we still follow the story. And maybe because we know that's going to happen and it still happens, like you cannot stop that. That's what made it all so sad. And after third episode, I felt like, you know what, I will keep watching it until the end. I do not regret it, because the universe is pretty decently written, and I feel like I liked meeting brand new characters and learning more about this universe, while Meg still found time to collect some of the tears, and some events helped her collect those tears even faster. So that was cool, like, because it wasn't as episodic as I thought it would be. And the ending was good as well, because, well, it's not the end of the story after 12th episode, but it closes a part of Meg's life that and starts, like, lets her start a brand new adventure, which, in my opinion, was a perfect ending for something that's 12 episodes long and still wants to, like, close some part of the story and yet still keep the ending open. I still gave it a 7 out of 10, but I would say, other than the second episode, first and second episode, the rest of the episodes were, like, of the same quality. So it wasn't like I watched one episode and it was shit. No, it was like the same quality. It wasn't the highest quality, but it was enjoyable enough quality that I just sat down, watched the anime, and I was like content with the episode. And then we have Witch Watch, which is it's such a hard thing vote for. Because Witch Watch is about the girl, Nico, who comes back to her hometown, to her childhood friends, Moi-chan, who is an ogre, and also her familiar. And we're only considering first 12 episodes. I gotta say, it started off as an episodic thing as well. Although, like, when I say episodic, it's like every episode you have like 2 or 3 mini stories and like funky little magic adventures that you go through. And I have such a hard time judging Witch Watch because first 3 episodes were kind of boring. Like, they weren't that funny, or the jokes were very basic as hell. Then there were like 3 to 4 episodes that were fun. And then the last 6 episodes were worse. And I don't know, it's just, you know, your typical issue with comedy anime when you cannot keep up with the jokes, and it just like so happens that some episodes will be funnier than the others. But now I have an issue because like the biggest problem with Witch Watch is that it tries to have a serious story in the background. Or as a base of the story. So we have funsy, but then it's like a serious thing. And you may say, no, it wasn't, nothing was that serious. No, it was. Like there was like the whole issue of like incident where the mother was in the, like, you know, she lost the movement in her limbs or something, like she couldn't walk anymore. And then like there is this huge dramatic thing behind Nico, which we see in the first ending, that apparently, I think she, with her magic, destroyed part of the house. And they try to make it serious at some point, and I think that's like the worst part of Witch Watch. That makes me feel a little bit off. And like the finale of the first core was way too serious. And man, I mean, I feel like it's a logical thing to choose Witch Watch because I think it is a bit better than Arumajo. But I think I enjoyed Arumajo more as the entire 12 episodes. Like, I cared more about Meg's story and her friends than I cared about any of the characters in Witch Watch. Like, the most I cared about the character was like when the Karasu Tengu guy had this speed up issue where that was sad, and I think that was like the best episode of Witch Watch so far. So I'm saying it once again, I'm judging based on my enjoyment while I was watching the anime, not how the anime is it better or worse in like all different kinds of ways. I think I enjoyed Arumajo better, and I think I'm going to go with my gut feeling like, yeah, this is the right choice for you, personally. I'm not surprised if 90% of you would be like, Witch Watch is better. I don't know. I liked Meg much better than any of the characters. And like many characters, like there were a lot of great witches out there. Even though one of them had stinky feet for some reason. I don't know what kind of king they tried to awaken. But yeah. I know. So I guess the first surprise. I wanted so badly to like Witch Watch more than I like it. Because I don't like it that much, to be honest. Like, it's fine. It's fine. They both have the same rating. That's why it was so hard for me to choose. Because I rated them both at 7. But I enjoyed it as the entire story. I enjoyed Arumajo much better. Okay, this matchup I remember. Okay. Lazaro, or Lazarus, is an anime about God fucking knows what, because honestly nothing happens for like all the episodes other than the one that was actually enjoyable. To be fair, to be fair, Lazarus is a show about people from the government looking for a guy called Spinner, Schneider, I fucking don't remember. Skinner, who made a cure for everyone to be all happy-go-lucky, but apparently the cure also was like a poison that will kill you after 3 years you took this. And they're searching for the guy so he can like have a cure. You know, now that I think about it, it would be funny if they found him and he's like, I have no cure. But then they play like this hide and seek game. But this hide and seek game is a bunch of random things that they are doing that don't make much sense, even though like after second episode I already found the guy, which was... I cannot believe that's actually a canon thing that happened. It's a huge disappointment. It's #1 disappointment of this season. Because when you advertise an anime that has been directed by the same guy as who directed Cowboy Bebop, which is one of my favorite anime ever, which is like the anime that had the biggest impact emotionally on me. That's why, like, for me, Cowboy Bebop is something extremely special. It's like one of a kind experience. And then you give me this shit? Like, you cannot expect me not to be mad. The characters are uninteresting. To be fair, like, the only, like... I could only feel bad for the blonde guy because, yeah, he was like kind of bullied by the writers. We don't even have any story for the dark-skinned one. I'm like, bro, you add like some random topics and you like there's nothing that can connect those things, and they force you to think, yes, it is connected to Skinner, we're looking for clues. But it's just like every episode they tell you, oh, because we found out that he have been there once, so let's go there, just like that, you know, like there is no more sense. And then we have Windbreaker Season 2, which is... Okay, I don't think I've said that before. I think Windbreaker Season 2 wasn't as enjoyable to watch as Season 1. I said it. I feel bad thinking that, because I still love Windbreaker manga, I still love reading it, and I enjoyed Season 2, but I feel like there was not that much of a budget for animation for this season. It's just like, it started strong. Very strong. First 3 episodes, epic. Like, in second episode or third, we had like probably one of the best fights they animated so far in Windbreaker, and it definitely was like my favorite fight of the season. And it was like, it isn't true, we're starting the stream. Listen, sometimes you have to face the facts. So, in the first 3 episodes, it's just like kind of a part of the story that's a mini arc in between 2 bigger arcs. And they're fighting against like one gang. And fights against this gang, which every character gets their individual fight, they are not the longest, but they are impactful. And they are epic. And just because all of the characters from the main cast have all different kinds of fighting styles, it's so freaking enjoyable to watch. And then the senpai comes in, and it's like, the way they animated it, I was like sitting and gripping my chair, like, holy shit, that's so epic. And then we start with the next arc, which is Tsubakino's arc, the arc with like the adults district and everything. And it starts off, you know, pretty nice, because all the Windbreaker arcs starts off as like slow introduction to a new character. We get to know their past and everything, and it's all cutesy and fun. But, you know, there is like this one scene that I was expecting they're going to go crazy with it, which is a pole dance scene. And it was so stiff, and I was like, what's happening? Why? Can I give a clue which fight is it? It's Kaji's first fight. It's Kaji's first fight against Krill's, I guess, Krill's leader. If that helps you. That's this fight. I didn't think much about it when I was reading manga, but in anime they made it so goated. And so after, like, they enter this, like, adult district thingy, things are getting, like, a little bit awkward when it comes to storyboard, I feel like. Because, first of all, pole dancing scene was so underwhelming. I felt like they could made it so much more dynamic. I know it's like unnecessary scene for many. For me, I felt like it's the point to go crazy, go wild, and they didn't do that. And then like the entire fight, like the big fights with the, I guess, main antagonist of this season felt underwhelming. It's just like, I think the best fight that they had there was the fight when the twins were synchronizing, because they gave them like a chance to show all different kind of funky moves that the duo can do, but at the same time it still was a little bit stiff. I don't know what happened. I don't know if someone else did storyboards or whatever, but it just felt much less dynamic than what they gave us in the first season and the beginning of the second season. Still, next to Lazarus is obviously much better, so you're moving forward and it's not even a bias. And it's not even a bias. There we go. There we go, Windbreaker. Congrats. You're moving to the next round. And next we have two, yeah, okay, that's a very unfair matchup, because, we have, first of all, we have, what was the title of it? It's Yaiba, obviously, but it's just like Shin Samurai Den Yaiba against Koisuru One Piece. So, starting off with Shin Samurai Den Yaiba, it's an anime from the same author that created Detective Conan, that's even longer than One Piece with episodes. It's a very old school kind of show. It used to have an anime actually, and this one is animated by Wit Studio, so it's a reboot. For whatever reason they made a reboot. I like when they make reboots of anime that I didn't watch, that are pretty old, like it was with Urusei Yatsura, or quite recently Ranma. I didn't watch Ranma because I watched enough of Ranma original show to know that I don't feel like watching it. Yaiba itself is an okay show. It's definitely the strongest when it comes to the animation, but story-wise it's like the most simplistic thing ever. So we have a protagonist who wants to be the strongest samurai, and then we have antagonist who was just your usual high schooler who just wanted to become the, I guess, like the number one, the kendo swords master or whatever, but got possessed by an Oni, and now they're fighting against each other because the Oni wants to take over the Japan or maybe the entire world, and Yaiba, as a protagonist he is, and as just like he wants to be the best swordsman ever, he needs to stop him because like he decided beforehand that this is his biggest rival, and they go to different kinds of adventures to find mythical swords, superpowers, etc., fighting against all different kinds of ogres and monsters. The story itself is basic, extremely basic, so you cannot expect much. Like, you start watching it and you know how it is going to happen. It has all the tropey tropes for like those kind of 90s style anime. The animation is goated. I gotta say, the first, like, longest fight was so fun to watch. It's just like, it screams Wit Studio knows what they're doing when it comes to animating fights, and it was enjoyable. But right now, as I am like, I've watched all the 12 episodes for Cour 1. I don't know how long it will be because they still didn't tell us how many episodes it will have. I think the old series had like 70 or something. I'm going to tell you, like, the longer you watch it, the less you want to watch it. It's like, you know what, 12 episodes would be enough. I don't know if I want to engage in something longer. I still am watching the episodes, but I feel like there will be a point where I won't be able to catch up, and that's the moment I will drop this anime. And on the other hand, we have Koisuru One Piece, which is a, how to say it, parody spin-off series for One Piece, where we have characters that all have the same names as One Piece characters, and they are aware of that. So we have Luffy, Nami, Sanji, and the black-haired one is Luffy, and he's nothing like Luffy because he's cowardly. The girl next to him is Nami, and that's his girlfriend. So that's why I made the video on that, to bait people, ruthlessly bait people. Yes, that's what I did. I was cruel. It's illegal what I did, etc, etc. The blonde-haired girl is Sanji. The guy with square head who is holding the flag is Usopp. Behind them is Mary. The deer is of course Chopper, and this kind of like biology skeleton is of course Brook. So those were 4 episodes that I think were supposed to advertise the comeback of One Piece anime, because if you didn't know, for the entire season One Piece was not coming back. Like, was not coming out, not coming back. So they decided to make those 4 episodes that were like, I don't know, 5 minutes long. I think they were like, the amount of time they had was so uneven. It's like 4 minutes long, 5 minutes long, 7 minutes long, or something like that. At first it was kind of funny, you know, because they had very dynamic kind of jokes, especially like the character of Usopp, which is like, you know, like he tries to recreate the superpowers. Obviously in this universe it was impossible. So it's like when he made like this kind of shooting thing that Usopp does that burns things, he just came out with flamethrower. This kind of like ridiculous kind of jokes. They were pretty fun until the last episode that was just like boring as hell. And I'm talking about like 7 minutes long episodes, mind you, so it says a lot. It feels unfair to pair those two together, but as I said before, I made the choice randomly. And in this case, as much as like some things were quite funny in One Piece, I think Yaibat for at least like first few episodes were much more entertaining. And it's still, quality-wise, it's still good. It's just, at this point, if you watched enough of old-school anime, you feel like you're getting nowhere. And I low-key hoped it's going to only have like 12 episodes. I started watching Yaiba mostly because I love Detective Conan. But, you see, it's just like, it's the previous work of the creator of Detective Conan. And it just shows that he was just having fun with the simplest concept ever. I'm still going to move it forward because Koizuru One Piece was just like a mini thing that I hoped it will have more episodes, so there we go. There we go. Yaiba had good opening, that's true, that's true. A lot of people, I think it was like on the lists that people make of like top anime openings of spring 2025, I think it was quite often in top 3. I didn't expect that. Ending was cute as well. Okay, so there's that. Okay, let's merge it so I won't have too many. And moving forward, damn, aesthetically, those two, look at them, parallel posters, damn. I didn't expect that to happen, but okay. So first we have Korun, generic romance. And against it we have Your Forma. I'm saying it right away. I only watched 1 episode of Your Forma, so you should know which one will move forward. But let's talk about both, because, you know, I never talked about in-depth experience with neither of those. So when it comes to Korun generic romance, one is good as one is mid. Okay, we'll talk about it. Korun Generic Romance is a story about Korun, a kind of city outside of Hong Kong, or at least district outside of Hong Kong that is supposed to be demolished and like looks like a ruin, to be fair. Very slums-like vibes, but people somehow still live there. But there is a mystery within Korun, because we have our protagonist Reiko, who has this strange lack of memories from like previous days, or like she just wakes up and she knows that she works there, she goes to the work, she knows the people, but she does not remember anything before. Would be better if it was about Horun. So she leaves not knowing what's what is her deal? And there is the guy, Kudo, who does very suspicious things and holds a photo with her. But she never made this picture with him, so she wonders who that woman is. And apparently, it's all the way also who Reiko is. Why does she not have memories? Is she a clone? Or does she have an amnesia? Maybe she had a twin sister. We don't know that. So slowly, with every episode, we discover more and more, but also we get more and more mysteries, because not only Reiko has her issues, but there's like a plethora of the characters connected to Korun who have their own issues, and they look for all different kinds of results to solve those issues. I love the vibe of Korun. I think the biggest flaw of Korun is that you don't really get attached to any of the characters. Like, I'm not going to say that I disliked Reiko or Kudo or any other character that was there. It's just that I think it was hard to get attached to any of them and have like some sort of, I don't know, feeling like, oh, I want them to succeed. I wanted to solve the mystery of Korun and how it works, and why is there like some weird kind of thing floating on top of this city that everyone just accepts it's floating out there. It is an intriguing show, and I think, I don't know if it's going to be a winner because I will have to think deeply about it, but it's definitely the best anime as like 12 episode long with a finished story that has come out, 12 or 13, it has come out this season. So if anything, you feel like missed out anything from that season, which is a lot of meat anime, I would recommend you trying to watch Korun. And then we have Your Forma, which is, it had like, I think it had the worst first episode out of all the first episodes that I've ever watched. Because, you know, the episodes start off with these two characters and one random girl coming out of some shopping center, and the girl thanks this woman like, thanks for being there, I'm sorry, blah blah blah, it was like kind of like my form of apology, and we have no clue what they're talking about, right? So we think, okay, we're going to get into flashbacks. No, because suddenly they take the guy who is apparently some kind of droid or robot, and suddenly they're like, yeah, you did something wrong, because like there's only like 2 other robots that looked just exactly like him, and one had alibi and the other one was trashed, so it had to be him. And you're sitting there watching this episode, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Who are those people? Should I care? Like, why? What's going on? Like, what anime is that? It's Your Forma, Hai Komorebi, the one I'm talking about right now, the one on the right. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, what's going on? Like, I'm like, it's not a good way of building up a mystery, not at all, because like, you feel, I thought I started watching, I don't know, 2nd episode, 3rd episode, maybe I made a mistake or something, but I see it's the 1st episode, I'm like, why? Who thought it's a good idea to start from the middle of the story that you don't know the characters, they don't introduce you to the characters, they're just like, yeah, we keep on going, like, keep the show going, like, I didn't care. I was annoyed, and honestly, genuinely, I was pissed off. Because, like, who does that? Who does that? Like, that's not how you do things. So, I was, like, genuinely confused. And I was like, I don't want to watch it. Like, nothing made me interested. They just annoyed me that they're not saying anything, and they act as if I know who those characters are. We're talking about anime from the season that has just finished, from the anime, so spring anime season. So we're talking about it all. I'm trying to recommend things and everything, and talk about the anime, whether or not I liked it, because like this is my personal preferences. Yeah, so Korun is moving forward because I don't know. I don't know what Your Forma was supposed to be about. I honestly don't care. I didn't want to watch it. No, thank you. And, you know, I felt like the trailer had a little bit of potential, not too much, but holy shit, they disappointed me in the first few minutes of the episode. Okay. Okay, moving to the next line of participants, we have Kino Gundam GQX. against Boku no Hero Academia Vigilantes. Let me show that. Like, I think the entire title I messed up. No, Kido Senshi Gundam GQX. It's this anime I dropped after 7 episodes. Strange, right? Like, why would you drop it after 7 episodes? It's like, it feels strange because usually I drop something after 1 episode or 3 episodes. So the Gundam anime is about Gundams, but to be more specific, it's about 2 girls, Machu and Neko, I think? Neko? Nyan, sorry. I knew something about the cat in Japanese. I think I'm good as long as the plot and plot twist is good. I'm a little bit, I'm a little bit more, pretentious in my taste in anime. Okay, so it started off pretty decently. The animation was great. We had ending from, oh my god, so Suisei, so our fellow VTuber, the opening was from Kenshi Yone's What Could Go Wrong? Holy shit, it was so wrong. Like, at the beginning, I was like, okay, that's kind of intriguing. We have Gundam battles that are illegal, and they still do that, and they bet money on that, and all of that, so it's like kind of underground fights. We have Machu, who feels like she doesn't belong in the planet that has been, like, I think artificially made for people to live on, and she feels like she doesn't want to be there. And then we have Nyan, who is an immigrant who wants to leave this planet because she doesn't feel at home. And then we have like another character that's like Shuji, and he's a guy. So we have 2 girls and 1 guy. Okay, take a wild guess what could happen in this setup, huh? You dropped after 7 because when you watched you got sleepy and wake up to 7 episodes? No, that's not how it happened. So yeah, you have 2 girls, 1 guy. What could go wrong? Well, jealousy ensues because both of them like the guy, which is the most unlikable guy ever. He's so like, his head is constantly in the clouds. Honestly, it's like he puts the autism to the extreme. I don't want to be rude to autistic people. I think partially I am myself one, but dude is just like, he's like nothing special, you know? He's nothing special, but those 2 girls are like, oh my god, he's the coolest guy ever. And, you know, that's episode 7 that literally ruins their friendship because they're supposed to run away, all 3 of them. But, and this girl, the main girl, Machu, is supposed to get money and run away with the money. And Nyan is supposed to, like, take off with Shuji with both of their Gundams. Because I didn't say that, but those battles are 2 on 2, so you have like 2 kind of Gundams fighting against 2 other Gundams, and so they both piloting the Gundams, but suddenly Shuji disappears, and what Nyan does? She escapes, because like the moment something goes wrong, she wanted to escape only with Shuji, leaving Machu alone. I'm like, motherfucker, I hate it, because previously, okay, so to explain it to you, I'm going to spoil a little bit. Kaori, hi. So Machu is the one that was the main pilot of one of the Gundams. Nyan wants to give her an alibi that it's not her piloting the Gundam because some kind of government army or whatever was after her ass, piloted this Gundam for once, but she was mad because she was partnered with Shuji, the guy, and of course she was jealous because it was her and Shuji's special thing, so she got mad. But then they apologized, and I thought, oh my god, things are safe. They talked, they apologized, but then Nyan, the girl who stole the Gundam from her, wanted to bail on her and leave her all alone in this planet and to run away with the guy they both had a crush on, which is disgusting. And I thought, okay, it's getting worse and worse, because then this girl Nyan is like, oh, I don't have any friends or whatever. I only watched until the end while skipping the episodes because I was interested where the story will go, but it was just like, oh god, it wasn't enjoyable at all. I guess the ending was pretty okay, but it's just the fact that the teen jealousy romance trope was not something that I enjoyed. I hate when that happens, you know, this kind of like toxic jealousy. This immediately throws me off. Like, I'm like, I don't want that. I don't like this trope. I don't like this concept. I never like when that happens. So I was like immediately, I'm dropping it. I'm dropping. I can't. Only out of pure curiosity, I skipped through the end, like quickly. Every time, like next week, the episode came out, I was just like skipping through the scenes to see what's happening. But I didn't count it as watching anime because it would be like kind of like a cheating, because it's not even like watching it on ×2 or ×4. No, it's just skipping the scenes. So I watched the entirety of 7 episodes. It dropped down pretty strongly with score because it's only 7.08, which says a lot about anime. And I think it started off with like almost 8.0. So yeah. That was a disappointment. I like when they tell me that Gundam has like kind of alternative story that you don't have to watch other Gundams. And they lied to me because apparently there were characters from original Gundams, and I learned about it after 3rd episode when they showed Char, I think. If you don't know, Char is the token character, the one with like white mask and a helmet from Gundam. Even if you don't know him, you probably saw him somewhere. Yeah. And then we have Boku no Hero Academia Vigilantes, Illegals, or however. And, okay. Vigilante Boku no Hero Academia Illegals, that's how the title goes. This is how you write stories within Hero Academia universe. You know why Vigilantes are good? It's because Horikoshi didn't touch it at all. Another person wrote it and another person drew it as a manga. That's why it's actually good. That's what I wanted from Hero Academia, genuinely. Like, that's why I constantly say that Hero Academia had such a great potential, because the universe itself is very enjoyable to have stories within it, to have characters within it, but not the characters that are Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki. I hate those. And here we have like all different kind of characters. We have like a student who just wants to help people genuinely, but he didn't pass or rather he got late to his exams where he could pass and become a hero, just like, you know, Deku had to pass his exams. We have a wannabe idol high school girl and an adult guy who for some reason beats up people and checks if they're drugged. So you have 3 all different kinds of characters that work so well as a team. After first episode, you know what the story is going to be about. You have all the important characters introduced. You know what you're getting into. It's amazing how in 1 episode, they did more than in all of the seasons of Hero Academia! Makes me look like I don't watch anime for not knowing what you guys are talking about. Oh, it's fine, Kaori. I mean, to each their own. I'm a weeb, so of course part of my content is going to go around anime. And, you know, you can still listen and enjoy yourself, or just add something when you know something, you know? I'm a hardcore weeb, so you shouldn't compare yourself to me, at least, because I go to such an extreme lengths when it comes to talking about anime that it's not healthy, okay? Find yourself a hobby that's actually, I don't know. Find yourself a hobby that's makes more sense than watching anime. I wish I was only a dirty casual, but I'm not. I'm broken. Try-hard weeb. Yeah, I'm a try-hard weeb, exactly. So, what's the story about? The story is about Koichi, who is just like trying to be a vigilante, but in a way of, oh, I'm going to help this granny cross the road, I'm going to collect the trash, and etc, etc. So, basically, he's like kind of like a community social worker or something like that. After summer, I will have a very big bracket. Bruh, you don't even... Bruh, I don't even want to think about it for now. But then he meets, and then we have like the girl wannabe idol who just uses vigilantism as, you know, she treats streets as her scene where she can sing. So she's not really doing anything much. And then we have the knuckle duster, the older guy who looks for people who are drugged. And how does he know they are drugged? Because they have like, I think purple tongue or something like that. Purple spots on tongue. So he checks everyone's tongue. And that's how they somehow gather together to try and solve this mystery of who is poisoning those people. Because when they're poisoned, their quirks are manifesting much stronger than their superpowers, much stronger than usual, to the point that some of them are even mutated. So it's an intriguing thing that technically was supposed to be much darker than original story, like the Hero Academia that we follow Deku's story. I don't think it's that dark, but I think it's like much more engaging, obviously, and it's just like, it's very solid story writing. The characters make sense. None of them feel like obnoxious. All of them have their own reasons to what they're doing, and like just everything just falls so perfectly well. And for those who, you know, enjoyed some of the characters from Hero Academia, hey, we have the coolest ones because Aizawa is there and, you know, Present Mike. So basically pro heroes are there. It's not like they're ignored. We see those characters. They're not the main concern, although in second season Aizawa will play a much bigger role. But overall, we focus on those main three characters in the first season at least. And we have like an antagonist that's actually pretty sneaky and intriguing. The final battle, holy fuck, that was so intense. That was so intense. I was like, oh my god, I've never been so hyped about any fight in Hero Academia. Like, they went on so hard with the animation out there. It's just so... It's like, you know what, why do we even need Hero Academia to begin with when we had Vigilantes illegals? I mean, I guess we needed the universe to be created, so... One good thing that came out from Hero Academia. Hi, Foyren. Fuck you, Foyren, for yesterday Pummel party. I will never forget it. Motherfucker. Okay, so yeah, for me, Vigilantes, definitely Vigilantes. I didn't drop it. I enjoyed every single episode, and I'm happy that it's immediately getting a sequel. Definitely going to watch it as well. Oh shit, I didn't copy the right one. Oh, okay. Laugh all you want. Laugh all you want. You little shit. Okay, there we go. Oh, and then we have a weird ass setup. Okay, I guess both of the posters are quite chaotic, right? So it's somehow fitting. The one on the left is Araiguma Karkardan, and the one on the right is Konosuba OVAs for third season bonus stage. When it comes to Araiguma, it's one of those anime that's every episode is like 2 minutes long. It's not even 3 minutes long, it's 2 minutes long, and it has an opening and ending, so you may imagine how engaging it must be. So when it comes to Araiguma Karkardan, I didn't even think I will watch that, but then I heard that the gray one, the gray creature here, which all of them are actually raccoons. I know, it's a surprise, but all of them are raccoons. And the grey one is voiced by Tsuda. And for me, this show is all about Tsuda. Because they even make a joke about Tsuda there. But like, the show is about those raccoons having their own corporation and trying to just, I don't know, live their life as a corporation. Basically, they just do random stuff and it's nothing about corporation. But what made me feel like I want to continue watching it? First of all, it's only 2 minutes long, so I'm not really wasting much time on it. And second of all, there was in third episode, I believe, there was like a corporational song. And it was so relatable and so freaking funny that I was like, you know what? You know what? I will watch that. Also, there was one episode that was much later after I decided, long after I decided I will keep on watching that those little cute rascals are having human forms that actually are, you know, either like cute boys or handsome guys. So I appreciated that. They're like me? Nah, I'm a tanuki. They're raccoons. They're raccoons. Although there was like one episode when they were trying to check their test through the face cam. Like, you know, those kind of apps where check your age with this camera. So they had like check your, I guess, like type of animal with this camera. And the grey one got a wolf and Tsuda Kenjiro. The yellow one got a fox. The red one got a red panda. And I think the blue one got a tanuki, I think. If I remember correctly. I don't remember what the green one got. But it's like, basically they joked around how their designs don't really exactly look like your typical raccoon. And then we had Konosuba OVA, which had 3 or 2 episodes. I need to check because I do not remember. If I'll find it, of course, that would be preferable if I actually found it. Yeah, okay, it's in OVA. It's 2 episodes. Okay, so it was 2 episodes. And I'm going to say those 2 episodes were more fun than the entire 3rd episode altogether. 3rd episode had like, what, 12 episodes or something? 3rd episode was, 3rd season was just so underwhelming. And it was sad because I think after the Megumin anime, which was kind of like whatever thing, you wanted to get your real Konosuba, so 3rd season came out, and the 3rd season wasn't even that great, so I was like a little bit disappointed, but the OVAs were actually genuinely funny, and it's just like, you know, it's your usual Konosuba, so we have like this one guy going around for for 1 episode each. I remember what one story was about, I can't remember what the second story was about, but definitely there was like, 1 episode was about them having kind of like imposters, so there was like a guild, like the group that was like, literally their names were kind of like parodying their own way, their own names, and they tried to pretend that they don't know who they are or something. I think out of those 2, Konosuba is much more enjoyable because there's just much more content than 2 minutes long episodes. Even though it was only 2 episodes, it's still longer than all the episodes from this one altogether, so... I don't know how long Araiguma will be coming out, because we still do not know how many episodes there will be. But yeah. Konosuba is like one of the rare isekai anime that I actually approve of. Oh god. Oh god! Oh Lord, have mercy, these 2 way. Actually, it's perfect that those 2 came together. White posters. You know, the randomizer system works pretty well, I gotta say. So, first of the shows on this list is put them on Takamine-san. Please put them on Takamine-san. Here we go. Oh no. Oh no. Oh god. The utter dog shit of an anime. So, haite kudasai Takamine-san. Yeah, so let's please put them on Takamine-san. This show has like the worst drone heads ever, first of all. So, the show is about a girl who is like a perfect. She's a walking perfection, right? But the reason to why she never made any mistake is because she can like reset the time or like go back in time to fix her issues if she takes off a piece of her undergarment, so underwear, mostly panties or bra. And our protagonist, of course, catches her doing that, and he somehow remembers her doing that for the first time. And he kind of wants to solve the mystery, or rather she realizes that he notices that. So she thinks that it's a perfect idea for him to become her personal wardrobe and, you know, put those new panties on her and have her panties in his backpack so she can have a spare whenever she needs to reset the timeline or something. The question for this matchup is, do you prefer weird heads and panties or Sweet Home Alabama? Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, that says a lot about one's fetish, eh? Okay, so first episode was terrible. You already knew that this girl probably knows this guy from childhood or whatever, and she'll get a crush on him, even though like there is no reason for her to get a crush on the guy. She's an extreme sadist, so if you're into that, well, consider your kinks being fulfilled in this show. It was just not funny at all, and it was supposed to be like ecchi comedy, romance at that. The only moment when I laughed in the first episode, because for this show I watched only 1 episode, I wasn't that insane to watch more, is when she called the police and they took him to I don't know why. For me it was so funny because it felt like, oh, this would be a perfect ending for every ecchi anime that has this kind of concept. I thought, oh my god, it's like the good ending, right? And I started laughing so hard. But other than that, all the other things were awkward, and I knew it's going to be like annoyingly awful. So I dropped it after one episode. I did it for the science. I discovered that it's shit just as I expected. I didn't try to keep on watching that. And then we have the title, an anime from the creator of your also famous and beloved Rent-A-Girlfriend, which is... What's the title again? Something Shujin family? God, where the fuck is this show? I cannot find it. Cannot find it. Oh, come on. You have to be somewhere. Oh yeah, Shujin-ke no kodomotachi. Okay, the story is about a family which those are all like 2 brothers and 5 sisters. And guess what? They're not blood related. Who could have thought when they all look so different? Not me. I would never consider that happening. Holy, what a surprise. And of course, like, because one of them, I think, is like her 16th or 15th birthday or something like that, and the 15th, I think. Their father immediately said, like, oh, when you all turned 15, your mother wanted you to know that you're all adopted. And you're not real siblings. Like, other than the green-haired girl and white-haired boy. Apparently they are twins, so only they are blood-related. And the guy actually have a girlfriend. I don't know how his girlfriend looks like because I only watched first 3 episodes. It starts off as your typical harem anime where like every girl is like, ew, you're so gross, big bro. Ha 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 ha. Let the dog bite him in the ass because yes, he did something gross. Even though this guy is like the most decent one out of the entire family, maybe other than his like younger brother, I think. Like, I'm not joking. Rent-A-Girlfriend author thought, you know what, I did the protagonist dirty, so I'll make this one more likable. But all the girls, they're doing weird shit to him. One jumps on him in the bathroom. The other one is, of course, it's tsundere. One just like, is like, oh, I wouldn't want you to be interested in me, like a woman. But then she's like, she does 180 and she's suddenly like, upset that he doesn't see her as a woman. It's just so confusing. And then, like, at first they're all like, oh, we have been growing up together, you know, it's like we're family, nothing will change that. But the youngest one is apparently the horniest one, so she jumps on her brother the first second she learns about that. And then we have other characters that are in denial, but obviously they're going to change their mind because apparently, even though they keep on saying their brother is lame, they actually think like he's a hot stuff deeply inside. I gave up the moment when the oldest one started doing weird shit. I was like, she was the first one who said, oh, we grew up as siblings, so I will forever see you as siblings. Only for the 3rd episode for her to appear and like suddenly, oh my god, he saved me for a drink that was supposed to drop on me. Oh my god, he's the manliest man ever. I can't take it. I couldn't. I just dropped it halfway through the 3rd episode. I didn't even watch the entire 3rd episode. I couldn't. I just couldn't. It's like, okay, at least we immediately admitted this is not an incest thing, because I remember watching, oh god, this old ass anime. Wait, let me check the title of it. Oh, I forgot how it was, how the title of it was, because like, oh god, Akaneiro ni Somaru Saka, which had like 2 seasons, and only in like last episode, even then, they didn't learn that they're not siblings. But their parents were like, ah, well, whatever. It was like the stupidest shit ever. Here, at least they know immediately, but it's like, it's just so uncomfortable to watch, you know? I thought like maybe it will like start going out naturally, but it's just, the characters were so unlikable, like, no. I mean, maybe not even like extremely unlikable, it's just, bro, I can't. I just can't with this anime. It's still beating this one because I managed to watch 2.5 episodes, and this one I managed to only watch 1, so congrats, you're going through the next round by some pure miracle. Oh god. I cannot believe that. Okay, and then we have next to anime, Anne Shirley, and what was the title of this one? What was the title of this one? And once again, I have an issue finding the freaking title. Great. I love when that happens. Where are you, little I cannot find it. I'm so freaking blind. They probably changed the poster. That's why I cannot find it. You motherfuckers. No, for real, I cannot find it. What the fuck? Where the fuck is it? Oh my god, The Catcher in the Ballpark, whatever. The Catcher in the Ballpark, whatever. Wait, let me... No, Anne Shirley, I know. Anne Shirley, I know. I'm talking about the second one. I'm talking about the second one. Catch me at the ballpark. Okay. Okay, so the first one, Anne Shirley, is a based on, of course, books by oh god, is it no. By whom? Oh, okay, Lucy Maud Montgomery. I thought so, but I thought that I'm going to become a fool by saying the wrong the wrong author. So this is literally like the whole story is based on Anne of Green Gables, but not only the first book, because like now that we have like the second core, we also getting into the second book, which is Anne from Avonlea, which I did not expect. Genuinely, I did not expect that happening. I thought it's going to be the entirety of the kind of like the first book only. It's cute. It's really cute cottagecore kind of show that you sit down, chill, relax, and just be happy together with those characters. Nothing extremely bad is happening. It's a slice of life. Of course, some things happens as it happens in real life for people, but other than that, it's just like your chill, cozy story about a girl who found her family in Green Gables among Marilla and Matthew, who decided to adopt her. Although the decision wasn't so much of a decision rather than a mistake, because they wanted a boy to help by their farm, but they had no heart to, you know, to put Anne back to the orphanage. And therefore she stayed with them, and so her adventures in Green Gables start. She finds best friends, she does all different kinds of things that ends up with all different kinds of crazy stories, like her dyeing her hair green, or just like, I don't know, having to apologize to a neighbor who's a very nosy neighbor. All of those kind of small stories that are bringing out like this cutesy feeling from the original books. I like it. I enjoy Anne Shirley. I think not all of the episodes are as enjoyable as others, but I still feel like they couldn't do a better job making an anime out of Anne Shirley. Although we had like much older version that I think it was on, I think it was even coming out on TV back in the days. long time ago. But this one, like, the animation is a little bit uneven. I really like the childish the childish version of Anne, because like her face was very like full of emotions. She brought out a lot of dynamic within the first episodes. Later on, she becomes a little bit more serious because she grows up, and then that's a natural thing, and that's something that you may not notice at first, but then you realize, okay, the story goes on, things are moving forward, they're not stuck in time, so she cannot forever feel like you're 14-year-old or however she was when she started with the story. It's just, I don't know, that there's this kind of like cutesy coziness to this show that just you cannot help but just enjoy watching Anne on the screen, and to see whether or not she will get a boyfriend, or whether or not she will be able to be best friends forever with Diana. You know, all those kind of different things. I just love it. I always like the book. I may be a little bit biased because this is also my mom's favorite childhood book. Because, you see, for my mom, who also had to work on a farm, to read Anne's adventures, she felt like there was no other fictional character closer to her life than Anne was. And the fact that she managed to find all kinds of joy in this farm life is, I think, that what made my mom keep on going as a child. So it is a little bit special in my heart for sure. And Anne and Gilbert as a duet, as like the slow burn between the two of them, is what kept me going when I read the books. So hell yeah. And then we have Catch Me in the Ballpark, which is also a very cutesy show, to be fair. At first, I didn't know if I'll like it or if it won't be too boring for me, but I genuinely enjoyed the characters. Sure, the animation was not the best, the character designs were extremely simple, and there was not... Although there was one plot twist that I did not see coming. Yara plus Beer, one of the best shows in this season. I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. Like, the story of Sanshiro had to be my favorite one. It was Sanshiro and the girl from the cafeteria who wanted to show her legs. Those two were my absolute favorites. Of course, I like the guy from who Ruriko was always kind of flirting with, which was extremely cute because she was all Gyaru kind of confident, and then like she like walked away and suddenly she was embarrassed by everything she said to him. It was very cute and enjoyable to watch. All the mini stories were cute to follow, and the fact that we went back to those characters here and there. It's not like every episode we got all the characters, but it's kind of like with each episode you felt like you're becoming a part of this baseball community within their baseball park, right? It's just like it was very cute. Oh, I also like the side story of the girl who was like the announcer. That was cute as well. The best side stories was Meal's girl, Player's wife. Oh, Player's wife was good as well. Sanshiro and Americ. Oh yes, Americ. Oh my god. How was he called? Oh god, he was like the absolute best. He's like my baseball angel or something like that towards Ruriko. And slapping butt thing was like the best thing ever. He was so sad because there were two Americans in their team. One of them had been there for much longer and already knew enough of Japanese. And then I think it was was it David? I think it was David. David, one who felt like very uncomfortable at first. But with each episode, like he grew more and more fond of the team and like the baseball park as well. And like he was upset that the guys on the team smacks his American friend on the ass, but no one smacks him on the ass. It was like, it's such a valid reason to feel like, I don't know, like torn apart. It's like, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not a part of the team? You know, and then he learns what it's all about. And the moment she slapped his butt, I was like, holy hell! So it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Although there were a few stories that were kind of like, whatever. Like there was this kind of guy who was trying to write some kind of like drama-induced article on those vendor girls, and it was kind of boring and predictable. There were some moments that were like, whatever. But every time Ruriko was on the screen, it was fun. Every time Sanshiro was there, it was fun. It's just, I don't know. I think they managed to grasp what they wanted to grasp, which is the sense of the community of those baseball fans. And I feel like I was much more dynamic about talking about this show. And you know, like, I think I'm going to actually go with the ballpark, not Anne Shirley. Even though I think Anne Shirley is better, I think ballpark was a little bit more enjoyable. I don't know why. It's just like, Maybe because it was much funnier, and I already know the story of Anne, so I know what to expect. It's like, you know, you're watching a show that you, like, nothing will shock you. Maybe if I didn't know the story of Anne, I would enjoy Anne Shirley much more. But because I knew the story, I know what's going to happen next, you know, I know all the characters. I'm going to go, oh my god, no, I didn't want to do that, sorry. I wanted to just copy that. So I'm going to go with Ballpark. Because I thought it's going to be much more boring. Like, I thought it's going to be your typical mid show, but it was actually an enjoyable show. I think I gave it a 7. I think I gave it a 7 because I didn't feel like it deserved higher, but personally I really enjoyed it. So this is all about my personal feelings. Ooh, now we have 2 comedy shows. We have Ninja to Koroshiya, Ninkoro. It's the original title, I think, is a little bit longer. I think. Forgot about Schoolgirl Who Smiled Forever photo because she was a good girl. Oh yeah, the one. She was cute as well. She was cute because like all of the other girls, they kind of like always made fun of her a little bit. And she was cute. Ninja to Koroshiya no Futari Gurashi, but the short version is Ninkoro. And this one is Everyday Host. So, Ninkoro is about a group of ninjas who decide to escape the ninja village. And our main girl, the purple one, which whose name was oh god, her name was Satoko. So Satoko bumps into Konoha, who is an assassin, paid assassin, and because Satoko here, she is terrible. She's a terrible ninja. She's clumsy, she's a dummy, she cannot do much properly. She can clean up and she can cook, so that's 2 advantages. And one special attack that she has is that she can turn dead objects into leaves. Like, you know, her ninja style thingy. And so she meets Konoha, who originally I think planned to kill her or something. But she turned the corpses to leaves, which means, you know, a simple way of getting rid of the evidence. So Konoha immediately sees this as a huge opportunity, and she sees her as her assistant because she is the one who kills, and Konoha is the one who kills, and then we have Satoko who cleans up after her. And it so happens that most of their targets are also ninjas who try to get rid of Satoko, who escaped the village with other ninjas illegally. And that's how like their story goes. They basically every day-to-day life where they're just like going for a mission, fighting against other ninja or another assassin. It's a girl's love. So yes, are there a couple? Kinda. There was one episode that upset me quite a bit, in which Satoko gets replaced by a robot, and Konoha doesn't notice it's a robot, and it's so sad because she feels so comfortable around the robots. And it's like this kind of like saddening fact for Satoko to feel like she's so replaceable. But then it like turns back, and it's just like they strengthen their bond that they do have. So, you know, I thought that it's going to be a shit show, but honestly, I think it was one of the more enjoyable shows of this season. Also, there's like Satoko's friend, or rather senpai, Kuro, who ran away, who was the one that decided to run away and asked other ninjas to come with her. She only ran away because she wanted to get together with her girlfriend, Yuriko, and they're very spicy, like they sometimes... Bruh, what they are doing there is like PG-18 or something. It's like plus 18 kind of thingies. Everyday Host, have you fave guy from Winfrey? That's true. I'll be talking about Everyday Host in a minute. And It's just a bunch of random stupid fun that Ninkoro brings out, and there are those sweet moments where they're actually like getting together or when Konoha, who is like very indifferent, starts caring more about Satoko, and then you squeal like, oh my god, that's so cute, finally. And overall, I really enjoyed that. I think it's like this kind of like comedy that brings out like girls' love pretty perfectly. It's just like all well balanced out. To add to that, the character designs are fun because all of the ninja girls that appear out of nowhere, they all have their own stylistics. So to each their own favorite girl, you know, you will find all different types of them. Just don't get attached because they may disappear in a second. In ×2 someday. I think it's worth watching for someone who likes girls' love, definitely. It's just like cutesy stuff doing cutesy girls not doing cutesy stuff, but cutesy girls doing weird ass shit, basically. So yeah, I really liked this one, especially the last episodes. They were like so heartwarming, surprisingly heartwarming. And then we have Everyday Host, which is an anime that's I think 3 minutes long per episode. Which is about host clubs. Mainly a guy, the glasses guy, who decided to work in host club because he didn't feel like working for a corporation anymore. But he's nothing special. He has his special thing going on because the pink-haired guy, I think he's all over 40 or something, even older maybe. And he's the guy who is just like acting like a baby. Then we have like your typical handsome guy. And then we have like my favorite one, is the one who is just like addicted to gacha games. And his thing is that the girls love that he ignores them because he keeps on playing gacha games and spending all his money. And he's like, my favorite gag of this show so far is that he fights against guy from another host club who is also, they don't know they're from host clubs, but they're both addicted to gacha games. So he tells us the sad truth about gacha games, like if you want to be number 1 on leaderboard, you need to spend money. So the moment he falls to the second place, he immediately tells the girls that come to the host club to order champagne. But he does not drink the champagne, he breaks the bottles on his head, and that's his thing. That's how he earns the most of his money. Because if you didn't know, in host club culture, they earn the most for the bottles of champagne people order. Girls mostly order. So that's how they earn. But then we have like all different kinds of characters out there as well. It all depends on which episode it is, because some of them are funnier. The others not as fun as the other ones. It's just like very uneven. The animation is exactly the same as in Agretsuko. It's because the same studio makes that. So even though it's not very stiff of an animation, it has its own like specific kind of art style, which I don't mind at all. Honestly, I wish the episodes were longer because I think there is quite a lot of potential, but I guess it's just like a gag kind of show. Freundin lieben ist so groß. Warum Deutsch, Lama? Warum Deutsch? And then we have and then yeah, there previously on the poster there was like this guy who looks like Baji and Sugishita. He wasn't there. So when he first came out in the anime, I was like, holy shit, I cannot believe there's a guy that I actually can sim for in this anime. Like, no way. Was it like a snack basu? No, it was more like Agretsuko. I don't know if you watched Agretsuko, but it's more of Agretsuko. It's not as bizarre, I think. I mean, it is kind of bizarre, but I don't think it's like that. It doesn't have this kind of like weird-ish aspect or accent of it. Host club is monopolowy in Polish. I got you. Yeah. Basically. Kind of. Yeah. From these two, because this one just the Everyday Host just started having some plot. I know people go crazy for this motherfucker, the crazy one. I don't know why. I still have to learn about him because I didn't see the recent episode.
But people are going crazy for this guy. I don't know why yet. But, yeah. From these two, Ninkoro brought much more fun to my life. So we're going with this one. We're going with Ninkoro. And we have last two anime. Hell yeah. Which title number one of the anime number one is Nazotoki wa Diner no Ato de. It's a story about a rich girl who works as a detective, but also for some reason her father gives her, or rather hires a butler to follow her around. And the guy on the right, the one with white suit, is kind of like the main detective, so she works under him technically, and he's a fucking dumbass, also a rich guy. I feel like I should have dropped it, genuinely. I watched it entirely, but only because one episode baited me that there's going to be some kind of like sad story or something about the main character, but it ended up being like nothing special really, and I was like, really? I cannot believe I believe them to be something extra. Be right back, gonna eat. Okay, and have a nice meal, Benyo. It's just like, I hoped it'll be a little bit funnier, maybe get a little bit more of romance. Although it didn't promise me romance ever, never. It was kind of annoying in a way. Like, I understand that the whole dynamic was supposed to be that the woman thinks like her boss is dumb, but she's also dumb, so the butler, who is the best detective out of three of them, makes fun of her all the time. And honestly, at some point it grew old, and honestly kind of annoying that he keeps on, you know, making fun of her. It's just, I don't know, I felt like it could have been much better, because I think the characters had potential. They all had very individual personalities, which added up a lot to the show, and I think it's its strongest point, because the cases themselves, they were kind of whatever. It's just nothing that investing. It was just an okay show. It's very mid. I think I gave it, I don't even know how much I gave it, 6 or 5 in the end. I don't remember. 6 or 5. I think maybe 5 out of 10. It's just, it was an okay-ish show, but I feel like I shouldn't have spent my time watching it. And then we have this one on the right, which is, it had extremely annoying titles, so let me look for it first. 男女の友情は成立する? いや、しない. It's a show about a guy who makes jewelry and other accessories based on the flowers that he presses. And it's like, the concept is cute, you know? And then there's like the blue-haired girl who helped him kind of advertise so he can sell them pretty decently. And there is the other girl who is his childhood crush that just came back out of nowhere and apparently knows the blue-haired girl for some reason. And the blue-haired girl is in denial that she does not want to be her best friend's girlfriend, due to which she acts like a total bitch and is fucking annoying. So I knew after first episode that it's going to be such an uncomfy watch that I'm happy that it was probably one of my best decisions, because I wasn't sure if I want to drop it at first. But then I think a lot of people started getting annoyed at the blue-haired girl on social media, and I was like, oh my god, I think I made a right decision. I think my gut feeling, for once, did something correctly. You know, it told me avoid this anime, and I avoided it. That's why we have this anime, detective anime one. It deserves this to win this fight, at least this fight. And so we talked about all anime that I've watched, so now we're only going to move forward with the bracket, not talking that much about. So, To Be Hero X, Arumajo, Windbreaker Season 2, Yaiba, Korun Generic Romance, Vigilantes, Konosuba OVAs for 3rd season, Shujinke Family, Ballpark, Ninkoro, and Nazotoki Dina. So, back to the beginning we go! This one is obvious. I mean, as much as I surprisingly enjoyed Arumajo, next to be Hero X, there's just not a chance for it to be anywhere near that. Because, as I said, even though To Be Hero X has a lot of things that I'm like, kind of like annoys me here and there, it's still an absolute cinema to watch. What I can add to those who watched 12 episodes, in the 12th episode, I think, there was like a battle. I think it was like one of the most engaging battles that I have seen in a while. Like when it comes to a battle that's on an equal level. Because usually, you know which character will win, you know? Well, like when you have those fights, and in a way you could expect the outcome of that fight as well. It's just the fact, or maybe it was 11th episode actually, not 12th. The fact that they held such an equal ground for so long, both of the characters, I was like, Jesus, this fight is so intense and it feels like it's never gonna end. And both of their punches had like the equal amount of power. I was like, damn, it's actually, I don't know. I'm not the person who usually focus that much on fight styles or fighting in general or fights in anime. They're like, yeah, they're a huge chunk of the anime, especially shonen ones, and I like shonen anime. It's just that in this case, I felt like it was so intense for me to watch it. I was like, damn, it's been a while since I was that invested in a fight. So yeah, next to a very slow pace, maybe slow paced, yeah, like simple paced Arumajo, there's just like not a chance for this one to win against To Be Hero X. So we're going to move this one forward, not much to think about here. Then we have Windbreaker and Yaiba. As I said, Windbreaker Season 2 disappointed me a little bit, but it still held itself pretty strongly. This time we had like a finishing line of this season what made much more sense, which I feel like it's such a shame that they didn't give the first season 2 course. Like, you know, Season 1 and Season 2 would be one season together. I think it would work a little bit better when it comes to like the pacing, because the first season ended up in such an awkward place, and then we're starting off the second season in an awkward place, but then you get epic battles, so you forget about it. But the ending of Season 2 was definitely made much more sense. It gave some kind of closure, but also opened the road to the next season and the next arc pretty damn well, which I'm happy about. Although I don't think they announced third season yet, which I'm not surprised because there's not as much of manga as it used to be when they started creating the anime. So I would rather they wait, because next season it will be packed in action. Although I think this first part of the third season will be pretty slow when it comes to the pacing, and it will be a lot about flashbacks and everything. We will see once we get that. It's just that as much as I love Windbreaker, I don't want them to rush into third season. I hope they will think like... I hope that second season was not successful as the first one, so they will see that rushing into next seasons should not be a thing if they cannot keep up with the quality. I don't know how it was though. I think the ratings were lower for Season 2, which I'm not surprised about, because I also gave a lower score for Windbreaker Season 2. And then we have Yaiba, which as I said, it's just like, it's a cool concept. I mean, it's a simple concept. It's fun to watch at the beginning, but the longer you watch it, the less you want to watch it, because you know it's going to repeat itself over and over again. Therefore, and as much as like in Yaiba, I feel the fights are they better animated? It's hard, because like they both have like such different kinds of animations. I think in Windbreaker, it's just like the fact that they try their best to have the choreography of the real ass fights makes it a little bit more impressive to me than in Yaiba, where you have like this kind of fictional sword fights that, you know, they would never like be out there in real life. So that's why I'm going to move Windbreaker forward, because in the end I definitely enjoyed Windbreaker much more the 12 episodes than I enjoyed the first 12 episodes of Yaiba. This one's hard. I'm not gonna lie, this one's hard. I said before that Korun is probably the best anime out of the whole lineup of the anime that we have here. But did I enjoy it more than Vigilantes? As I said, like the strongest suit, the weakest suit of Korun is the characters. One of the stronger suits in Vigilantes is that I actually genuinely like the characters. And I think that's the battle. And even though like in Vigilantes, there's not that much of a mystery, I think I was more emotionally attached to what's happening in Vigilantes than I was in Korun. And I think I'm going to go with my gut feeling and go with Vigilantes. Because in the end, I was much more hyped up about watching new Vigilante episode than watching Korun. Because like with Korun, at certain point, you were aware that nothing extremely dark is happening, which I'm sorry if that's some sort of a spoiler for you. I didn't want to do that. I just feel like at certain point, you know it's not going to be anything as extraordinary as you expect it to be. That's why I think I'm going to go with Vigilantes. I'm shocked. I wish I liked Korun characters more. It's one of those cases that you really wish that this one anime was a little bit better so you could, without any issues, choose this one, but you just can't. You just can't. My heart tells me Vigilantes. And maybe that's my old self who used to love Hero Academia and was so pissed off that it went all down to shit. As a person who haven't watched Vigilantes, I would vote on Vigilantes too. It's just much more enjoyable. It's just more fun. It's just much more fun to watch it. It's just, I don't know, like they worked so hard on the animation as well. And you know what's the worst? It's just like both of them have banger openings. They both have banger openings, so... That's all I can say. Watch Korun. If you like mystery, watch Korun, please. Just because it's dropping out there doesn't mean it's not worth of watching. Okay, great. Then moving on, we have... Okay, this one, I told you, this is bullshit. I like Konosuba. I'm not going to even, like, spare my time because I already whined enough about this anime. So let's just move forward, okay? Let's just forget about Shujinke family something bullshit and move Konosuba because it's like... These two episodes had more... I mean, technically, both of them, like, I watched 2 episodes. You know what? I'm going to merge it here because I'm kind of, like, getting mixed up. And then, oh, this one is a little bit hard. This one is a little bit hard. Kochi no Kento is just better. Kochi no Kento is Kochi no Kento. He's my current favorite pop song, I think, singer. I think. YouTube clips was so good. I genuinely, even if you didn't like Hero Academia, give Vigilantes a try. Genuinely. I don't think you'll regret it. I think you'll actually be like, especially when you liked Hero Academia to a certain point, please watch Vigilante. I think you're going to be positively surprised how well the story can work within this universe. Because it can. It actually can. And then we have Ballpark versus Ninkoro. It's like... Both of them are so similar in a way. But I think I was a little bit more invested in Ninkoro because in Ballpark I didn't expect much. Like I just accepted what they gave me. In Ninkoro, I was like I was just rooting on the couple to become together, you know, even though it's like the main concern was not a relationship, but still. But at the same time, I was disappointed in one episode of Ninkoro, and in Ballpark was pretty like stable for the entire series, but then there were like more boring episodes. Meanwhile, there was no boring episode in Ninkoro. I hate it. Maybe in fall when, yeah, or maybe you can just binge watch it before the second season comes out. You know, like there will be, I don't know if they decided what season the sequel is going to come out. I don't think it's 2026. So we have some time, you know? When they announce specific season, you can watch it just like we watched Grand Blue in the same way. So you will watch it all together, you won't forget about the plot, and you just like enjoy yourself. I think I have to go with Ninkoro. Purely, solely, like I think they are like equal, but what wins in Ninkoro is character designs. And the fact that Konoha, I felt so uncomfortable because Konoha has this kind of like your typical, like when she goes to sleep, she puts on her blue shorts and black tank top, and I was like, this is how I dress up, what the fuck? I felt so weird. I felt so weird when I saw her dressing up in the exact same way as I did, and I was like sitting down in my shorts, in my black tank top. I look down and I look to the screen and I see that she's wearing the exact same thing as I do, and I'm like, damn, that's kind of weird. There are a lot of great sassy shots and everything. It's just, you know, it's great shoujo ai. Fuck, I copied the wrong layer. Great show. And this one goes by default. Because, you know, lucky loser or whatever. Now we have these two powerful fighters. Okay. You know, maybe if Windbreaker had as strong of fights as it had in the first 2-3 episodes, I would move Windbreaker and I wouldn't care about bias, but I genuinely was more intrigued in To Be Hero X. It may be also the case that I know the story in Windbreaker, and To Be Hero X, every 2-3 episodes we get new characters, so it's kind of like it promises you something new each 2-3 episodes. That's why I think To Be Hero X has to win against Windbreaker. No way, yes way. Yeah, let's not, it's just like, we need to stop being delusional here. I mean, I need to, by we, I mean I. And when I mean I, delusional, I mean delusional with my preferences towards Windbre. I still love Windbre to no end. But it's just, the second season didn't do what I wanted it to do. And then we have those two, which I said that Konosuba OVAs were better than the entire third season of Konosuba. But in the end, Vigilantes are definitely stronger than Konosuba. So let's fucking go. Let's move them forward. It's just, you know, more content. 13 episodes versus 2 episodes. I think it's a no-brainer. It was unfair for Konosuba. Hell yeah, but this bracket is not fair to begin with, so I don't know what you're talking about. And these ones, I told you, I didn't really care about Nazotoki Dinner that much, so it's also a very obvious Ninkoro advancement group. And here we go. Did I expect it to look like that? 2 shows about heroes and 1 show about shoujo. Damn! Who could have thought it would look like that? Honestly, I thought there will be Korun. Honestly, I don't know if Korun would go that high, to be fair. So now we have those two. And yeah, because as I said, I was pretty upset at one episode of Ninkoro, and like overall the episodes were a little bit uneven, and it's just like Vigilantes kept the level of the quality every single episode, and the final episode was like epic as well. Final, I guess, like before final, because we had like 1 more episode. It's just, I'm glazing Vigilantes, I know that. I'm glazing them. It's just like, next to Ninkoro, it was better. Shit, I didn't want to tilt it like that. So, I guess this was the hero season, hey? This was a hero season. Crazy bracket moves, I know. Am I right or am I right? Absolutely insane. You know, for someone who, after Marvel started getting worse and, you know, Hero Academia disappointing me, and just like the whole concept of hero societies getting a little bit tired, I am surprised that in 2025 there are shows that like ignited this interest in hero society based stories in me, that they still bringing out something that makes me enjoy myself while watching those shows. Genuinely, I start thinking about my Hero Academia OC again. two OCs. Well, more than two OCs. Actually, all of them OCs. Because it just like brought the joy that I used to have in OC community in Hero Academia. And honestly, I feel like I should have based my OCs more on Vigilantes. It's not like they're not based off Vigilantes, because once Vigilantes came out, I started readjusting the stories of my characters to appear in this show as well. I'm like, hell yeah. But between the two of them, story-wise, I think as the entire season, it's very hard thing to vote on, because To Be Heroics is an entirely different kind of project, and Vigilantes is like a solid story that has the beginning and the ending of a specific arc. At least we have like one thing finished, obviously, because we have the second season. We are teased that there is another villain appearing and new issues are going to happen and appear. But you know, I need to appreciate To Be Heroics as it is, because it's just like, it's the level of entertainment in this show is too high for me to ignore. I don't know, like, I enjoy it so much. Even like the recent arc that just finished, I think. To Be Hero is not even an anime. It is in my eyes, okay? I don't care. You see, because like some people are like, oh, nothing, it's nothing like made from Japanese people. I don't care, you see? I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a single fuck, because To Be Hero, as long as it's on my anime list, it means that Japanese sees it as anime, and I will not see it any different way. I will not see it any different way. Say whatever you want. I have to make To Be Hero X a winner. I have to. It's just the fact that it has this kind of, I just really love the power system, you know? Like the fact that even though you feel like, oh, being a hero has so many advantages, but at the same time you can get also a lot of disadvantages. Like this one guy who keeps on having to keep on standing, he cannot lay down. That's goddamn awful. Being a top 10 hero and you cannot even lie usually, like normally in bed, that's crazy insane. So those kind of things, for them to think of them, and like the whole character of X, who is still so mysterious, I just want to see him. I actually want to see him. I want to see all the other characters, and every time a new character comes out, I wish to learn more about them. One thing I'm worried about is that, you know, as I said, but it's only on for the future, that's just like, I feel like they will try to, even though like they will do this voting system that you can choose which hero you're going to vote for, it's not going to work that well, because the writers of the show will try to manipulate the viewers into choosing this or that character because, well, they're more likable, or they make more sense, or the other one will do something awful, so you feel like more attached to those who are genuinely good. Unless they're like some kind of edgelords that everyone will be like, oh, this one's hot, so I'll vote for him. I swear to God, if the dog, which I still don't know nothing about, okay? To be fair, I know nothing about the dog. It's still like his story or her story, I don't know. Still didn't come out in anime or in the show. But if the dog is not going to lose first in the second season because people won't vote for him, I will eat the hottest bulldog on stream as a challenge. Because I'm pretty sure no one will vote for this poor ass dog. I'm going to vote for the dog. I'm going to vote for the dog. Because I know no one else will vote for him. Like, there is, like, it's just like, I don't think it's possible. I think the only character that I would definitely not vote for so far, like, against the dog would be Isol. Because honestly, I don't feel attached to the character at all. Yeah. First, How to Become Ordinary. To become more. Oh, okay. I didn't watch this one. It was a second season. Second Ballpark Beer Girl. Third quote. I'm not even surprised about Ballpark Beer Girl. You know, it's like the show was created for you, Benyu. I feel like it has been created for you, just for you specifically. It has beer. It has gyaro. It has baseball. So yeah, that's how it looks like, and honestly, I'm happy with how it looks like. It's a little bit surprising, because usually, like, I think I love Windbreaker still, but once again, the second season wasn't as hype as the first one for me. Arumajo was a positive surprise for me personally, although I wouldn't recommend it that much because I know it's like, I feel like it's specifically for me that it got to me. Korun, even though it lost already there, watch it if you like mystery. Once again, I'm going to repeat that. Ballpark, even though it lost in the second round, is still very solid. And even though she didn't win against Ballpark, she's still very solid, cozy show if you like that. And if you don't mind 24 episodes, then Ninkoro, very fun show to watch. The rest you can skip. The rest you can skip. It's like, I told you what I liked. I think if you felt like you're missing out something from this season, now you know what I feel like. It wasn't a waste of time to watch. And I think I'm going to, I think I'm going to share it on my, like, post, so... Then no one... I don't know how much you will see from this bracket because it's fucking huge, but it is what it is. Yeah, that was it, and I hope you'll enjoy new upcoming season that, I have a whole ass line of anime to watch from it, so I hope you're enjoying yourself because there are a lot of shows that, that are intriguing. In this season, you become more, I don't know how to describe it, watched Dan today and it wasn't that enjoyable, but Tanuki and Girl City and Amishi was top tier. Really? Okay, for me, I think Dan will grow on you the moment that the story will keep on going, because this is another case, kind of similar to Windbreaker, that the first season ended up in a very awkward moment, and we are starting off from the kind of like middle of the story, and we don't have time to rest, we're immediately getting thrown into action, so you need to get used to it to get the hype again, when it comes to Tanuki and the girl of this thing, Tanuki it's cute, but it's mid. I'm going to say it right away. I'm going to watch it only for the Tanuki. City is amazing. Oh my god, I had so much fun watching City today morning when I was eating breakfast. Holy shit, this is exactly what I expected it to be. It's just like, thank you so much for creating it. Ending. Oh, I like the Dandadan ending. Actually, I don't know. I think I like City opening and ending the most right now. It's just so cozy. I like it. I just... yeah, I need to watch Clevates today. I need to check second episode of Lord of Mysteries because I didn't watch that yet. I need to check whether I want to continue watching it or not because honestly I have mixed feelings about that one. I need to watch the OVA for Kaiju because it's of my second favorite character. Genuinely, I feel like in Kaiju, Kaiju is the only case where I like the most popular characters, which is Hoshina and Gen Narumi. Then I want to watch Outcast Restaurant, Jigoku Sensei Noob, Secrets of Silent Witch, Butt Girl, Cultural Exchange with a Game Center Girl, The Fragrant Flower, Blooms with Dignity, and See You Tomorrow at the Food Court. This is the list that I have right now that I need to watch. Yeah. Bruh. That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay. Well, that will be it for today. Next stream we are having on Friday, same time as today, I think. If I didn't mess anything up. Or maybe no, maybe not. Maybe actually I messed up. Wait. I want to lie to you. Wait. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Maybe. Yeah, okay. An hour earlier, I lied to you. And we're going to play the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, this will all take place in one stream. It's not going to have like a second stream because it's a short game. And yeah, that's all for today. I hope you'll enjoy the video on Wednesday and the shorts that I will throw out for now, Goobers. Bye-bye!